For those of you who don't know, we used to have we used to have a different lifetime here on this podcast where we talked about cryptocurrency
it was a different age. Yeah.
It was a different age, and it was back when cryptocurrency was fun. It's lost a lot of its luster for me. Not even in a entertainment sense, but also in a financial sense. It's a lot harder to make money in it than it used to be. I mean, I guess it's cyclical, right? But I can't help but notice, okay? And maybe for those of you that have been with us for a long time, this is a bit of a throwback. But with the recent, and I'm not saying this is permanent, but it to me, recently, I've been able to observe that performance of public equity, maybe we'll just say stocks, has been outperforming, or let's say traditional public equity has been outperforming cryptocurrency, okay? With something you have like NVIDIA over the last year, even Apple, there's been a lot of great opportunities to capitalize on just flourishing tech stocks and, the way the industry is going, maybe leading up to the election, where cryptocurrency's kind of, I don't want to say been left in the dust, but it's been halted for some time, at least performance-wise. And there's a few observations that I've kind of made about it.
Uh-huh.
I think that it's been really normal, and I think this has to do with the ETF really that came in. I think cryptocurrency trading has been so normalized that life-changing swings, at least in top 10 to top 20 coins, obviously including Bitcoin, aren't going to give you or be worth the effort that it used to the risk that it used to be previously. So right now, Bitcoin's probably around $50,000 something dollars. What risk are you putting in thinking that this is going to get to $100,000? And is it going to get much higher than that? I really don't see that in its future. Part of me doesn't even see it getting to $100,000, let alone 200. So that's an upside of not even a 2x on Bitcoin alone, the leader within that space, before you even get to Ethereum, which has been underperforming. So I think that the volume or the amount of people that are involved with cryptocurrency now has kind of negated all the swings. There's too much going on there now to kind of justify large price swings. There's too many hands in it. There's too much volume. So it's not the same as what it used to be. And on top of that, right? So I'm not saying that it's coming to a conclusion. I'm saying that it's been fully integrated into traditional finance. So you're seeing kind of... You doubt it?
Yeah.
Even with the ETFs?
I think what you're seeing, right, is you're seeing the effects of cycles, but from a different angle. The way that I perceive it, right, is that, and I've said this before multiple times, like a long time ago on the show, as more cycles happen, the magnitude of each cycle is going to decrease just because of diminishing returns. If you pull up the logarithmic chart of Bitcoin and go from like the point of its inception till now, it looks like a flattening curve. And it's like, well, okay, sure, another cycle might happen, but the range that new cycle can peak out above that curve is going to be smaller and smaller. So every single cycle is going to have diminishing returns. And I think that's just what we've seen. So if you remember 2017, you could buy literally fucking anything and it would 10x. 2021, it was tough, but you had, the major coins like Solana, Luna, AVAX.
Even Chainlink made a run then.
Chainlink was pretty good,
Yeah.
But some got left behind in the dust. Dude, this cycle, fucking everything except Bitcoin and fucking like $200,000 market cap shit coins got left in the dust. Like it's just Bitcoin and fucking like the most obscure fucking piece of shit, like meme coins, And I think what you're seeing is you're seeing the facade slowly drop between each cycle. 2017, everything went up, so you could keep the facade of utility up reasonably well. It's like, well, yeah, everything's going up because it's going to get adopted. And then 2021 happened where some went up, but not everything. And then people still claimed on to the claim of utility. It's like, yeah, some projects they actually are life changing, like Solana. This cycle, I think people realize, holy shit, there's barely any sauce left, and the only way to make money is to scam off fucking shitcoins. And the veil has been completely dropped. Like, nobody believes these fucking utility coins are going to do anything anymore. Like, no
Cardano.
one, like go back to 2021. People would actually unironically believe that Phantom would do something. I think no one believes that anymore this year.
Not me. You know? Never me, right? No. No, but at the same time, back then, I knew there was no true utility, and they were all just their own, like, separate Ponzi islands. But
True,
there was enough,
people
there
were willing
there
to
make
go
it
along
work.
with it. People were willing to go along with it, but no one is today. Like,
nope.
Like, if you go on Twitter, you will be hard pressed to find anyone make a fucking earnest case for Phantom these days. Like, it just doesn't exist, you know? And that's why you see all these fucking celebrities on crypto Twitter relegate themselves to fucking getting these celebrities in to pump their celebrity shit coins and then just scamming after that. It's like, yeah, I mean, at its core, this is what the space has been all about, but the veil has just been dropped to the point where it's just naked for everyone to see, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, yeah, that I don't think that fully disagrees with a lot of what I'm saying. I think it's just the conclusion. We're kind of reaching similar conclusions, but your reasoning is a lot more sound than mine, and you're able to describe it a lot better. Because it is funny. It's either, you're up there with Bitcoin, and I mean, Ethereum's been underperforming, or you're down there slinging crack rocks on Solana meme coins, like literal crack rocks. So I think people are starting to understand the risk value that's truly behind a lot of cryptocurrency. Is you're taking a little risk, and your upside is getting a bit of value by storing it in Bitcoin, or you take tons of risk and there's a chance for it is if you were to look at the percentages, it's probably the equivalent of a casino slinging those Solana shit coins. So that seems to be the two directions that it's going. And honestly, it's the most, I'm about to say the word twice, sorry for being redundant. It's the most honest way you could look at cryptocurrency, I think, and its use. It really is.
It's a long time coming, so you're not honestly.
It's not pretending anymore.
Yeah.
So,
but it does make everything just seem like just fucking depressing and just kind of disgusting. It's like, yeah, that might be what crypto was at its core, but I really enjoyed those days where people kept up this veil of delusion. It was fun getting like an earnest show like as to why Phantom was actually going to change the world somehow. Back then I enjoyed that. It was cool. It's like, oh, maybe Phantom does have some sauce. Well, I enjoyed that stuff.
Yeah, well, also there was optimism and opportunity too. I would sit around and think, if I could just get 3x off this, maybe I can get out of here and move into there. And now it's like I'm not looking at cryptocurrency as my way to make more money anymore. I'm just not. So, and that's a shame. I used to have an outlet where, I felt like I had my finger on the pulse and was able to kind of make moves that I thought that made sense within the industry and maybe see things that other people couldn't. And now that's kind of gone from me because it just doesn't offer the same value as it used to. And
I think I will be proven right, though, that this is going to be the last cycle for a long, long fucking time. Once this cycle tops out, it's going to be bear mode for 5, maybe 7 years at least.
This could be a cosmic "I told you so" by you. And if there is a crash in January to May of last year or next year, I want to dig up the clip of you talking on a previous iteration of this show a year and a half to 2 years ago. It honestly was in the first 10 episodes of that project we were working on, where you said that this is gonna, I don't want to say be the end of cryptocurrency, but there's going to be a huge run up and a nuclear destruction of crypto as it tries to integrate into the broader market. So I remember you saying that, and I thought it was a good point, and that's kind of where we're at now. But amazingly, that wasn't my main point. My main point has to do with people, okay? So you used to see the same characters, and I'm going to try and articulate this the best I can because it gets a little messy. You used to see the same characters in 2021. I won't name names, but there's a lot of obvious anonymous accounts. Maybe then they had, what's the monkey one? Punk Monkeys or something? I don't know what
CryptoPunks, right?
But wasn't there the Bored Apes? You know.
Yeah. Bored Apes.
You'd see people with Bored Apes avatar. You'd see people who would, somehow got wealthy early on, or they were day trading, they were leverage trading, and their entire identity is trading on leverage, being anonymous, supposedly having tons of money. So now the new version of that are people with maybe Remilio profile pictures, or who knows, whatever of the sort. I cannot stress to you enough, after meeting a lot of people in the space in person at an event, how big of losers these people are socially. Okay, that's before you even get to the fact that they might not even be wealthy. So these people are insufferable. And when I go on Twitter and I see them saying the same things all the time, I get so annoyed. It's always some combination of do a bunch of drugs, trade on leverage. We have the normies exactly where they want them, right here when Bitcoin just, fell $12,000. Jump back in at this point. You have no idea what's coming. They have no idea what's coming. And I'm not even talking about Chainlink people, because they're just demented. They just live in a separate reality. I just talk about kind of the main who are supposedly like social arbiters of the crypto space, or the gen side of the crypto space, still there pretending as if it's 2021 or 2017. It's not anymore. And they're still talking as if it is. These people's livelihoods, whether it be socially or financially, depend on you, okay, engaging with their platforms and either trading the way they do, or being interested in crypto the same way they are. And honestly, I have to say, they were influential not only on me, but a lot of people at the time, where I was walking into a lot of money, and they would convince you that crypto was the next big thing and to stay with it. And luckily I got out when things were on the downswing, most of what I was holding at the time. But if I kept listening to them, I would have lost everything. I would have to trade more on leverage. Oh, it'll be going back up. And I'm like, wait, hold on a second here. That was a lot of money. I wasn't expecting to gain multiple decimals of money starting with 4 figures. I wasn't expecting that. And then for some reason you think it'll just keep going, and they convince you of that. Right now they're still doing the same thing, and there's a lot less money at play, and people are still taking advantage over this concept, because their whole online fantasy of what their character is this person who's just a coke snorting degenerate who's always sitting there drinking and trading on leverage, and haha, isn't that so funny? That's not funny. You're a loser. You're going to lose all your money eventually doing that. And you already kind of know what you're doing. Think about the people who don't know what they're doing, who idolize you. They're falling for the same trap. They're not making their lives better. When crypto's over and done with, even if you make tons of money, if you don't have a career, or if you didn't make, let's just say, seven plus figures, there's no lifetime of tranquility for you. You're stuck again. So it really bothers me that their survival instincts kind of depend on cryptocurrency behaving as if it were 2021 and 2017. It just doesn't anymore. And I'm sick of seeing it on my timeline. So whenever I see people talking about crypto in that same way, I say, you know what? You kind of haven't moved on with your life, or you're still trying to convince people of a reality that isn't there. And it just bothers me. It just bothers me because it's really easy to spot a crypto, LinkedIn type person.
That's why I get so upset when I listen to Chainlink people. Like, to this day, it's like, dude, do you see the world around you? It's over. Like, what are you doing? I keep seeing these people saying like, oh, yeah, laugh it up now. But then when the singularity pump happens to $1,000, you're going to be eating your shorts. And I'm like, dude, I feel sorry for you. I want to help you in some way, because you're just going to lose your fucking mind and probably your fucking mortgage over this. It's like, man.
And they got listen, this is akin to kicking toddlers, okay? So that's why I kind of left the Chainlink people out of it, because that's too easy. They probably got in when it was over $5 or $10, and it went up to 50 and they didn't sell. Dude, I was in there when it was 40 cents. I was talking to my good buddy, the one we play League with, the other day. He loaded up when it was on 15 cents, and he barely even pays attention to what's going on. And we're telling you, why are you telling us these things? Okay. And listen, I'm not trying to fly off the handle. I'm going to contain myself a little bit here. Why are you telling people that were in there when it was below $1. What it's going to do after, what is it at now? Like $14, $15. I don't know. You got in like 2 years after us, okay? And you've made it your whole personality liking it. And again, they're not even them financially, their personalities and their livelihoods and the optimism for their own future depends on this token. You can apply that to a lot of different things across cryptocurrency. So their expressions are already tainted from the start. They're already impure, okay? They already have an obsession and a need for something in this space, and that's why you shouldn't listen to them. And it really does. With Chainlink's a reductive version of that. It's like the simplest, like purest form of what I'm describing. So it's just, I don't know.
Something interesting. A good point that you brought up. I think a few episodes ago. Some coins, they just have their time in the sun, and then after that, that's it. Like I remember EOS. It went from like $1 to fucking like 11. It went from $1 to $11, and then it's done. It's donezo after that. And it's like, the market doesn't have like fucking infinite resources. Like sometimes things pump and then that's their time, that's their 15 minutes of fame, and that's it. Like, do you guys honestly think fucking Link is just gonna be like such a groundbreaking project that it's gonna have the fucking singularity pump that you keep talking about? Like, or is Occam's Razor more likely where, it's a good project that was undervalued, and during the bull market it went to value, and then it just dumped like everything else? Like, what's more likely here? Like, come on.
Yeah, the concept of Chainlink, and again, this is someone who met Sergey in person and bought under $1. Okay, I've seen a thing or two out there. The concept of it was really cool at the time. It was when people were kind of excited about what cryptocurrency had to offer banks. It turns out at the end of the day, banks don't want to pay money to validate their own information.
It turns out, funny enough, the oldest FUD is actually real. Like, if you remember, the first ever FUD for Chainlink was, why would banks use this when they can make their own blockchain? That was the first ever FUD. They never got over that. That turned out to be the killer FUD, because as we've seen now, banks are using some like blockchain technology, but they're gonna build their own fucking chain. They're not gonna outsource it to some company in the Seychelles. Like, what?
Yeah.
How did we ever let that get past us? What the fuck?
Also, the improved version, the more succinct version of that, token not needed too. That's completely true. It's not. Most of the company, the token is a funding mechanism for the company, so it is needed to fund Chainlink, which give their services for free to other people. It's a great business model. That's all I'll say. So, but no, thanks for going down memory lane with me. It is funny for 1 second. There's a joke where a bunch of guys will hang out. Like it's like a where let's say you're like in a group of 4 or 5 guys, and they'll just hang out for an hour, drink, and just name random running backs in the NFL and laugh, because that is what it's kind of like to hang out with normal guys in the US. You can do the same thing with cryptocurrency and us, where it's like, remember EOS? You just like laugh about that.
Just
remember
just the three letter word. It's just like, remember KHV?
Yeah, we could literally hang out and just go like Neo, Tomb, and just start laughing. What's a Tron? That's so funny. Thanks for sticking along with that one, guys. I actually do like, I guess maybe it's more dunking, but I do like talking about cryptocurrency from time to time, because it was a fun part of my life. And it's technically how Tyson and I met each other, which is hilarious. But all